Hello, I'm Sandra and welcome to this gel art class. I'm looking forward to sharing these designs with you. We're going to begin by getting some tips ready. Just buff a few of them, take the shine off. I've prepared 5 or 6, but you'll be using 3 in this class. Now we're going to go through the items we'll be using. Here I have the gel paints in black, white, neon pink, yellow, petrol, magenta. We'll also be using other things like chrome foil flakes, some matte-on top coat, and a gloss top coat. The brushes that we'll be using are a folk art brush, a small rounded tip, a pointed brush for detail, a fine line brush for those super fine lines, and we'll also need some prep and wipe to cleanse at the end. Before we begin painting our flowers and butterflies, we're going to start by preparing the base background on our tip. I have a gel brush, so I will commence by firstly mixing some colours together. Here I have the neon pink and some white. To make a lighter pink. The yellow, with some white, which will make a beautiful lemon colour for any accents on my petals or flower or highlights. The petrol, which is a very dark blue colour, I'm going to mix it just in case into a light blue . I will also add a little bit of black, which will create a darker version, more like a grey blue, which I would use for any shadowing. Now with the magenta, together with the petrol, I'm making a purple colour. Taking the magenta again, with the neon pink, to make a lighter version of that dark magenta. So now we're ready to begin. So I'm going to start by painting a white as the base on my tip. As I'm using the gel paint, it's actually quite a thick consistency. So I'm able to do a very thin layer, spreading it very evenly across the tip. I am making sure though that there is no streaks left behind. Once I'm happy with how it looks, I'm going to go ahead and add just dabs of the purple that I mixed. With this ombre brush, I'm going to now spread those dabs of colour to make them faint and to give depth to the final look of the background. Pop it in the light to cure for 30 seconds and feel free to pause the video whilst you're doing so. Now I'm going to add some chrome flakes on the tacky layer. We don't need much, it's only as an accent, which will show through behind your design. I've also taken out a small blob of the clear top coat to clean my brush between colours. Now I'm ready to top coat. Firstly, I'm using the gloss top coat, as this is a nice thin consistency. It gets right into the grooves that is created by the foil layer. Also, as it's a thicker consistency in the paint, it can leave some streak marks from the brush bristles, so this will fill in all the gaps. Cure for 30 seconds and pause your video. Now I'm going to do a secondary top coat with the matte on. This will finish off my base. Cure for 30 seconds. I will go ahead and do another 2 tips, the same technique, just using a different foil. Once all the tips are cured, we will go ahead, wipe off the tacky layer and buff the surface, just to refine. I'm doing this away from camera to not get any dust in my gel paints. And wipe off any dust residue left. So now I've finished the 3 background tips. I've completed a pink, a purple and a gold.